Life Chat English. Real conversations, real English.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Life Chat English, your favorite place to learn easy English through real, everyday conversations. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Sam. Hey, Chloe, quick story. Last night, I was cooking pasta when my smoke alarm suddenly went off.
Oh no. Were you okay?
I was fine, just a little embarrassed. But listeners, did you catch what I just did? I said I was cooking when it went off. Two past actions, two different tenses working together.
Two tenses like best friends, and one of them, was cooking, is what today's whole episode is about.
Today, we're tackling the past continuous tense.
Last episode, we mastered present perfect. The episode before that, simple past. So now we're adding one more powerful tool to your past tense toolkit.
And honestly, past continuous is the storytelling tense. It's the one that lets you describe what was happening in the background, set the mood, paint the scene.
It's also the tense behind those super polite questions like, I was wondering if you could help me. Yes, that's past continuous.
Big episode coming. Here's the plan. First, the form, how to build past continuous with a few spelling tricks. Then the core meaning, and the famous comparison with simple past, including when versus while. After that, two actions happening at the same time, then a quick warning about stative verbs, and finally the fun real-life uses, polite questions, excuses, scene setting, and even annoying habits.
Lots to cover, but as always, slow and steady.
Let's jump in.
Okay, let's start with the recipe. Past continuous has just two ingredients.
Ingredient 1, the past form of be, that's was or were.
Ingredient 2, the main verb plus ing.
So the formula is subject plus was or were plus verb-ing.
Use was with I, he, she, it. Use were with you, we, they.
I was working, she was reading, we were eating, they were laughing.
For questions, we just flip the was or were to the front. Were you working? Was she reading? Were they laughing?
And for negatives, we add not. I wasn't working, she wasn't reading, they weren't laughing.
Super clean, super simple structure. Now let's talk quickly about the ing part, because there are some little spelling rules.
3 small rules. Rule 1, most verbs you just add ing to the base form. Work becomes working, talk becomes talking, read becomes reading. Easy.
Rule 2, if the verb ends in a silent e, drop the e before adding ing. Make becomes making. Write becomes writing. Take becomes taking. Not making, making.
Rule 3, short verbs ending in consonant, vowel, consonant, we double the last letter. Run becomes running, sit becomes sitting, stop becomes stopping, swim becomes swimming.
And one funny exception, lie becomes lying. The IE changes to Y. Same with die becomes dying, and tie becomes tying.
Don't stress about the spelling. Your eyes and ears will absorb it through reading and listening.
Form, done. Let's move to the meaning, the heart of it all.
Here's the core meaning of past continuous in one sentence. An action that was in progress at a past moment.
In progress. That's the key idea. Not finished, not just a quick action, but happening, ongoing, in the middle of being done.
Picture this. At 8 o'clock last night, I was watching TV. That doesn't mean I started at 8. It means at 8, I was already in the middle of watching.
Right. The action started before 8 and it continued after 8. 8 was just a moment inside the action.
That's why we sometimes call it the background tense. It paints the background of a moment.
Now here comes the big one. Past continuous versus simple past. This is the most important comparison in the whole episode.
So, simple past, like I cooked, I walked, I called, is for finished, completed actions. Done. End of story.
Past continuous, I was cooking, I was walking, I was calling, is for actions in progress, in the middle of happening.
And here's the magic. We very often use them one in one sentence. One action is the long, ongoing background. The other is a short, sudden action that interrupts it.
Let me tell you a real story to show this. So last weekend, I was making dinner. I was just standing there, chopping onions, and suddenly my cat jumped onto the counter and knocked a glass off the table.
Oh no!
Yeah, glass everywhere. But listen to the structure. I was making dinner, past continuous. That's the long, ongoing background. My cat jumped, simple past. Short, sudden, completed.
That's the classic pattern. Long background in past continuous, short interruption in simple past.
Another example. I was walking home when I saw an old friend. Walking, long, ongoing. Saw, short, sudden.
She was reading a book when the phone rang. Reading, background. Rang, interruption.
They were eating dinner when the lights went out. Eating, background. Went out, interruption.
This is the pattern of past continuous. If you only remember one thing today, remember this. Long action gets past continuous. Short action gets simple past.
Now, two little words that you'll see all the time in these sentences. When and while. Let's break them down.
When usually goes with the short, sudden action. When the phone rang. When my cat jumped. When the lights went out.
While usually goes with the long, ongoing action. While I was making dinner. While she was reading. While they were eating.
So you could say the same idea two ways. I was walking home when I saw my friend. Or, while I was walking home, I saw my friend.
Same meaning, different word order. When points to the interruption. While points to the ongoing thing.
Tiny but powerful pair. When for the bang. While for the long.
Okay, so we've talked about a long action interrupted by a short one. But what if we have two long actions, both happening at the same time?
Then we use past continuous on both sides. Both verbs in past continuous.
For example, while I was studying, my brother was playing video games. Both ongoing, both in the middle of happening, both past continuous.
She was cooking while he was cleaning the living room. Two parallel activities.
The kids were laughing, the parents were talking, and the dog was barking. Three parallel actions. Total chaos. Past continuous for everyone.
This pattern is gold for describing busy scenes. A party, a market, a Sunday afternoon.
Now, let's talk about the question form, because this is where past continuous becomes really fun in conversation.
The classic question. What were you doing? Or, with a specific time, what were you doing at 7 last night?
It's a really natural way to ask someone about a moment in their past. So, Sam, what were you doing yesterday at 6 p.m.?
6 p.m. yesterday. I think I was riding my bike home from work. Yeah, I was riding and listening to a podcast.
Nice. And what about Sunday morning? What were you doing Sunday morning around 10?
Sunday at 10. I was making pancakes. And I was watching a cooking show at the same time. Big breakfast energy.
See, listeners? Great little conversation, all in past continuous.
And here's a really fun one. When something memorable happens, people love to ask, "Where were you when?"
Like, where were you when you got the news? Or what were you doing when the power went out?
I was sitting at my desk when I got the message.
We were eating dinner when the storm started.
This kind of question opens the door to a whole story. Past continuous sets the scene. Simple past delivers the moment.
Beautiful teamwork.
Quick but really important warning. There are some verbs that we don't usually use in continuous form. Not in past, not in present, not in any continuous tense.
They're called stative verbs. They described states, not actions. Things like thinking, feeling, owning, not really activities you can be in the middle of doing.
Common stative verbs: know, believe, understand, mean, remember, forget.
Love, like, hate, want, need, prefer.
Have when it means own or possess.
Be, seem, look when describing how something is.
So we don't say, "I was knowing the answer." We say, "I knew the answer." Simple past.
We don't say she was wanting a coffee. We say she wanted a coffee.
Not they were having a car, just they had a car.
A quick test: if the verb describes a state of mind, an emotion, or a fact about something, it's probably stative. Use simple past, not past continuous.
One small note. Some verbs change meaning. Have, meaning eat or experience, can be continuous. We were having dinner, that's fine. They were having a great time, also fine.
But have, meaning own, no continuous. I had 2 brothers, yes. I was having 2 brothers, no.
One little rule, but it stops a very common mistake.
Okay, now the fun part. The real-world phrases. The ways native speakers actually use past continuous in daily life.
Use number 1. Polite, softened questions.
This one is gold. Native English speakers love to make requests sound less direct, more polite by using past continuous.
Compare these. Can you help me with this report? Direct, fine, but a bit blunt.
I was wondering if you could help me with this report. Soft, polite, professional.
See the difference? I was wondering if you opens almost any polite question.
I was hoping you might be free on Friday.
I was thinking we could grab coffee sometime.
I was wondering if you knew a good restaurant nearby.
All present time situations, but we use past continuous to soften them. It feels less pushy, less demanding.
Memorize these openers. They make you sound instantly more native.
Use number 2, making excuses or explaining.
This is super useful. When you missed a call, missed a message, didn't reply to an email, you can use past continuous to gently explain.
Sorry I missed your call. I was driving.
Sorry for the late reply. I was finishing a report.
I didn't see your text. I was sleeping.
Sorry I'm late. I was waiting for the bus for ages.
It works because past continuous tells your friend you were in the middle of something. So it's a natural, real reason. Not just a quick action, but an ongoing situation.
Use number 3. Setting a scene in a story.
This is where past continuous shines. When you're telling a story, past continuous paints the background. Listen to this.
It was raining hard. The wind was blowing through the trees. I was walking down a quiet street, and the street lights were flickering. Doesn't that already feel like a movie?
Total mood. And then the simple past hits. Suddenly, I heard a noise behind me. Bang! Story moment.
That's how writers and storytellers use it. Background in past continuous. Action in simple past.
Try it next time you tell a story. Start by setting the scene with 2 or 3 past continuous sentences. Then drop the main event in simple past.
Use number 4, a fun one, annoying or repeated habits.
Oh, this is a small but funny one. We use past continuous with always, constantly, or forever to talk about a habit that annoyed us.
He was always losing his keys. That doesn't mean he was literally losing them every second. It means he had a habit of losing them. And it was a bit annoying.
My old roommate was constantly leaving the lights on.
She was forever asking the same question.
It adds a little emotion, a bit of frustration, a bit of humor.
And finally, a tiny extra, interrupted plans.
We can say, I was going to mean a plan you had, but didn't follow through with.
I was going to call you, but I fell asleep.
We were going to go to the beach, but it started raining.
I was going to clean the kitchen, but I got distracted.
Super common in real conversations, for plans that didn't quite happen.
So that's our toolkit. Polite questions, excuses, setting scenes, annoying habits, and broken plans. All powered by past continuous.
Big episode. Before we wrap up, it's time for our favorite, the word tour. 9 key words to lock everything in.
Deep breath, everybody. Here we go. Let's start with the star of the show, past continuous.
Past continuous is the English tense formed with was or were, plus a verb ending in ing, used for actions that were in progress at a past moment.
For example, I was reading a book when you called.
Or, past continuous is the storyteller's favorite tense. Repeat, past continuous.
Past continuous. Next, in progress.
In progress means something is happening, ongoing, in the middle of being done, not finished yet.
For example, the meeting is in progress. Please don't interrupt.
Or, past continuous describes actions that were in progress at a moment in the past. Repeat, in progress.
In progress. Next, background.
A background action is the longer, ongoing action that sets the scene, while a different, shorter action happens in front of it.
For example, in storytelling, past continuous gives you the background.
Or, the rain was the background as he walked into the cafe. Repeat, background.
Background. Next, interrupt.
To interrupt means to break into something that is already happening, to stop the flow with a sudden new action.
For example, the phone call interrupted my meeting.
Or, a short past simple action often interrupts a long past continuous one. Repeat, interrupt.
Interrupt. Next, stative verb.
Stative verbs describe a state, feeling, or thought, not an action, and we usually don't use it in continuous form.
For example, know, love, and believe are stative verbs.
Or, stative verbs stay in simple form even when other verbs go continuous. Repeat, stative verb.
Stative verb. Next, parallel.
Parallel actions are 2 or more activities happening at the same time, side by side.
For example, while I was cooking, he was cleaning. 2 parallel actions.
Or, past continuous is great for describing parallel events in a busy scene. Repeat, parallel.
Parallel. Next, soften.
To soften means to make something gentler, less direct, or more polite.
For example, I was wondering if you could help softens the request.
or English speakers often use past continuous to soften questions at work. Repeat, soften.
Soften. Next, scene.
A scene is the setting or moment of a story, the place, time, weather, and atmosphere where something happens.
For example, the writer used past continuous to set the scene.
Or, a good story opens with a clear, vivid scene. Repeat, scene.
Scene. And our final word today, habit.
A habit is something you do regularly. And with always plus past continuous, it often describes a slightly annoying repeated action.
For example, he was always losing his keys. What a habit.
Or, past continuous with always turns a simple habit into a funny complaint. Repeat, habit.
Habit. 9 powerful words. Write them down, play with them, make them yours.
Your notebook will be full, and your storytelling will be stronger.
So, your challenge for today, in the comments below, tell us a short story. What were you doing when something unexpected happened? Maybe a funny moment, a scary one, or just a small everyday surprise. Use past continuous to set the scene and simple past for the main event.
Bonus challenge. Try writing one polite question starting with I was wondering if. Drop it in the comments too.
And remember, past continuous gets stronger every time you use it. Notice it in songs, in movies, in books. Listen for was and were with that ing ending. Soon it'll feel automatic.
Thank you so much for learning with us today. If this helped you, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share with a friend who's learning English too.
We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, keep telling your stories in beautiful English. Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to Life Chat English. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe for more real-life English practice. See you in the next episode.